Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results and WWE main event spoilers for this week. And you got birthdays from October 20th. Chavo Guerrero, he was born 1970. Scott Hall, born 1958. October 21st, birthdays. Bushwhacker Butch, he was born 1944. October 22nd, birthday, Taya Valkyrie. Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact. Fiance, girlfriend, whatever you call them. She was born 1983. Also, D'Lo Brown turned 47, while wrestling journalist Bill Apter turned 74. Also, it would have been the 77th birthday of WWE Hall of Famer Pedro Morales, who passed away earlier this year on February 12th. Also, it would have been the 73rd birthday of former WWE star Bad News Brown. The Rock is set to play DC character Black Adam, and it looks like filming for the project will begin in July next year. In response to an artist rendition of The Rock as Black Adam, he wrote, "Very cool, man. Thank you. Amazing detail. This project has been with me for over 10 years. Production begins this July. Appreciate the support." And to give you that link that you can see probably a picture with it. So whenever I try to pull it up, all I can see is words that I can read to you there. Also, earlier reported that Ali has joined Team Hogan for WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. This afternoon on Twitter, on Monday afternoon, Ali announced that he will be donating his earnings from Crown Jewel to charity called Water. Charity Water is a non-profit organization that brings clean, safe drinking water to people in developing countries. 100% of public donations go to water projects. Indie wrestler Jake Atlas, aka Kenny Marquez, has reportedly signed with WWE. And you can find out more about him at this link here for a video of him. As Atlas is set to report to the WWE Performance Center in Orlando in January, according to SoCalUncensored.com. There have been rumors of Atlas signing with WWE after he recently started informing indie promoters that he was no longer available for bookings after December. The California-based Atlas made his wrestling debut back in August 2016 after training at the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy in Bell Gardens, California. He was named Southern California Rookie of the Year in 2017. Atlas lost to Dragon Lee in the second round of the Pro Wrestling Guerrillas Battle of Los Angeles last month, and then worked a Ring of Honor match at their tapings in Las Vegas. It was reported that he turned down a contract offer from Ring of Honor. SoCalUncensored.com noted that AEW had talks with Atlas, but no contract has been offered. He was then seen backstage at SmackDown Fox premiere in Los Angeles earlier this month, 2 weeks ago. The 24-year-old Atlas was featured on a 2018 episode of Celebrity Undercover Boss on CBS, which also featured WWE Chief Brand Officer Stephanie McMahon. Atlas appeared as an undiscovered wrestler that was duped by the undercover McMahon. That show saw Atlas explain to McMahon that he wanted to become a first openly gay WWE champion. He received a brand ambassador contract during the episode. And you can see this link featured on the first episode of WWE PC tryouts from the PC Center YouTube channel itself, released back in January. And below from that link is footage of Atlas and Stephanie McMahon on Undercover Boss episode. Atlas or on Darren Young's YouTube series as well. I'll post them both together for you. At a recent autograph signing, Seth Rollins answered a question about why he doesn't wear his white ring gear. The one that looks like Power Rangers. "No, Vince won't let me wear it because he's He's a weird old man who doesn't understand that people think it's the coolest gear they've ever seen, said Rollins. Yeah, he doesn't get it. I get that question more than anything else. What does it mean? It's just huge, man. People loved it. I think it's in the archive. I gave it to our archivist guy. He puts it up at all access events and stuff. Ivelise, a former Lucha Underground Trios champion, spoke with Women's Wrestling Weekly this week about working with at WWE in the past, as well as what the future has in store for her at this link. And here's some of the highlights that she had to say about it. It was awesome. It brought me a little back to Tough Enough because, boy, they want to definitely push you to your limits, and that was the greatest experience, too, in a sense, I believe said. It's all about teamwork. It's not just in-ring stuff. I really liked and enjoyed how they focus on wanting to see people have a good attitude as a team player with other people. That was really cool to experience, and particularly the group we had was a very, very elite, stacked particular group. The whole competition thing was there for sure, but not to the point that there where you would feel uncomfortable or anything like that. We were all very supportive of each other throughout the experience. Previously noted, Ivelise was outspoken over Twitter earlier this year, claiming that Lucha Underground was holding her hostage with her contract. Ivelise says that she's surprised that things escalated the way that they have because Lucha Underground was initially a place of communication and trust between the talent and higher-ups. For quite some time now, I've been wanting to cut my Lucha Underground thing short for about 2.5 years. I've been telling them for a while that I've been unhappy, and I've been wanting to cut it short, Ivelise explained. But throughout the whole thing, I broke my ankle, which didn't help matters. After coming back those 2 times, I tried to give it all with whatever I had left for Lucha Underground. And once that was over, Season 4 was coming to an end and the airing of it. I went ahead and contacted them in hopes that there were some interest. So they came about where they changed their mind. And once they said they would let me go, that's when the whole fiasco happened. And it got so much more complicated. I still love it still blows my mind. I never in my life thought I would have imagined that I'd be in a situation like that, Ivelise continued. Nonetheless, the Lucha Underground started out as a promising because we started straight off with great energy. Everyone was communicative and trusting in everything. And it's really uncomfortable that it just happened that way. Regardless, it's finally resolved, and I jumped on it right away. I feel like to come back home, that's how it feels for me when I stopped in the Performance Center, hoping I could stay home. Ivelise now looks ahead towards the future and whatever potential jobs may result from her WWE tryout. She explained that she's making sure not to overwhelm herself with bookings while preparing mentally, physically, and in every way possible for the future jobs she wants. I feel like with the WWE tryout, it's definitely moving in the right direction and the direction that I wanted, which makes me really happy, Ivelise said, especially after this year. These 3 years have been really testing my soul. I feel like I have no words on how happy I feel, on how this year is starting off. What's next right now? Honestly, I'm not really trying to book myself like crazy and get all crazy. I really just want to take this time to really organize myself for at least this next month. To really organize myself for whatever good amount of work that will come from the tryout. Whether it be WWE or whatever that might be, I want to be 100% ready mentally, physically, in every shape or form. I want to be able to take on this year as the best version of myself and I possibly can be in every aspect. I've at least mentioned how the creative aspect of matches where you try to tell the best story possible with the two characters presented. It is something she loves. She hopes to one day be able to tell an in-ring story with WWE's Asuka, Kairi Sane, and other growing stars on the independent circuit. Like I said, I usually love wrestling whoever is in front of me. Every match is like another puzzle for me, and I love the creative process of figuring out how two characters can unravel within a square circle. Lately, most of the people that I want to work have been taken to WWE already, ivelise said. Now that I feel like that WWE is expanding, within the UK and things like that, it's leaving a lot of space for a lot of new talent that I haven't really been able to get a feel for. I've only really been able to get a feel for it in the indies, some new faces in Shine, and Ladies Night Out. Now I'm seeing new faces. I still would want to wrestle Asuka. We would have an insane match. We would mirror each other a lot. I would also like to face Kairi Sane. And in the indies, I've seen a few girls with a lot of potential. Wrestling Observer newsletter also reports that several top legends and stars will not be heading to the Kingdom for the Saudi Arabia tour. Several of the bigger performers who have already appeared at Saudi events have been left off this year, which is interesting. Dave Meltzer wrote that even though Undertaker was used in the first announcement for the show, and he's been a key part of the previous shows, neither he or Bill Goldberg at this point are slated to be on the show itself. Likely with the idea it makes no sense to have other outside attractions when you already have Velasquez and Tyson Fury. Dave also confirmed some of the main roster stars who will not be appearing. Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan refused to work the last Saudi Arabia event, and at this point, neither are scheduled for this year. Sami Zayn was not allowed to work any of the shows this year, this series, because due to his ethnicity is also not scheduled for the show at this point, even though Shinsuke Nakamura is, as he did sign that so-called agreement with WWE that they go to the same brand together. Well, Saudi Arabia. Mr. Man and the Dead Man were in the Kingdom as guests for the first day of the season opening ceremony from Riyadh, which featured a kickoff parade. Footage from the parade aired on WWE Raw to promote Crown Jewel. The parade featured several WWE props and pieces, and there were a large number of WWE fans in attendance. And you can see videos and photos from the parade at this link with Taker and Vince McMahon themselves. And below in the link are WWE-related videos and photos from the Riyadh season kickoff parade. The Undertaker was riding a float in Saudi Arabia this week. I don't know what else to say. Again, that link. Also replying to at Inner Nerd on Twitter from a fan _FGH07. Broad just saw The Undertaker in the opening of the Riyadh Season Festival at this link in Saudi Arabia. WWE veteran Christian has signed on to join the cast of MMA action movie called Cagefighter, according to Deadline.com. Production on the movie is set to begin on Friday, November 1st, in Saskatchewan, Canada. It was reported back in May that Christian is an executive producer of the movie itself, and he will also star, and he will be written, and it will be written and directed by Jesse Quinones. The movie is now has a new cast, which includes Christian. The movie follows MMA fighter Ray Skipton, who will now be played by UK MMA fighter Alex Montagnani. Gibson is on the road to becoming an MMA legend when his promoter, Max Black, played by Gina Gershon organizes a cross-promotional bout against top pro wrestling star Randy Stone, who will be played by AEW star Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose. Gibson now faces the fight of his life and challenges on multiple fronts. So this is Dean Ambrose's second movie, as he was in the 12 Rounds sequel. Besides Christian, the movie also now features former UFC champion Chuck Liddell and Luke Rockhold, according to the new report from Deadline. The movie is scheduled to be delivered in the second quarter of 2020. Moxley was first announced for the movie back in May of this year, before his AEW debut. UFC stars Alexander Gustafsson, George St. Pierre, and Anderson Silva were also announced at the time, but it looks like since Chuck Liddell has been added, they are probably off the cast, but it would be good if they were all on it together. Thus, MMA. Christian stars as a character named Stephen T. Jones. The synopsis of the movie notes that Gibson character loses the cross-promotional match to the Stone character, played by Moxley. The synopsis reads like this. Cagefighter follows mixed martial arts champion Rice, who unexpectedly loses a heavily promoted match to Randy Stone, a wrestling star who was making his crossover debut in the MMA fighting world. Randy Orton actually could be leaving WWE in 2020 as his contract ends. As the WWE veteran had fans talking about possible jump to AEW ship after he posted an Elite teaser posted on his Instagram. I did not get the link for that. Do apologize for that. I'm pretty good about that. As I have previously reported, his 10-year deal started in December 2010, but the new report from Fightful says Orton's current WWE contract expires in the summer of 2020. They noted that Orton was reported to have signed a 10-year deal in 2010, so that's what that is. The length of the deal could not change, and it was $100 million for 10 years. Due to a number of variables, it could be extended or what have you, injuries or what have you. Orton signing with AEW would obviously make a major move for the new company. Orton has been with WWE since day one, and many of the business have seen him a WWE lifer. But we all know anything is possible in the world of pro wrestling. Stay tuned for more updates on Orton. When it comes to understanding the industry, Orton gets it. For 15 years plus, the Apex Predator has been one of the premier faces of WWE programming when it comes to teasing the internet. He also understands how that works as well. Earlier in the day, Orton posted a cryptic picture on his Instagram account. The photo shows Orton looking at a sign that says Elite Level. The caption reads tick tock, and he tagged Rick Moss, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wilder. Luke Harper, AEW Executive Vice President, Cody Rhodes, and AEW World Champion Chris Jericho. And thanks to Daniel Yanofsky for the news on that. And Jericho responded when it comes to understanding the industry. Okay, well, Jericho commented on the post saying, "Send in the tape and some pics. I'll see what I can do." Back in 2010, it was reported that Orton signed on with WWE. Cody and Sammy Guevara of AEW, the kid can do some crap, Orton admitted. I'd love to work with that kid. They had a great match. I thought opening the show with that match was a good idea. Well received. Former SmackDown Executive Director Eric Bischoff took to his 83 Weeks podcast this week to provide some details on why he was suddenly let go from WWE last week. Bischoff is leaving the company with a positive outlook, noting that it was simply an opportunity that he that didn't work out as he had hoped. I'm not going to spend too much time clearing the rumors and innuendo because it's out there. I think people are smart enough to see through the bullcrap that they read in dirt sheets and that kind of thing. I honestly just don't want to get negative. Bischoff explained, I'm going to say a couple of things. I will have more to say at some point in time. You know, feelings right now are number one. I was really grateful for the opportunity to work for WWE. It was an opportunity. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. And it clearly didn't work out the way Vince McMahon wanted it to work out. But it happens. I'm not taking any of it personally, professionally. I'm taking a hard look at it, thinking it through. WWE 2K20 video game that came out Monday night at midnight has had issues this week on the first day, and many fans on Twitter have posted news on errors of that, as the platforms that came out on are only Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows PC. The video game was immediately bombarded with negative feedback from social media, and a hashtag of Fix WWE 2K20 has been trending worldwide for hours, and now days, as of 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Actually, Tuesday. Fans are expressing frustration and everything from bugs and glitches to the graphics, missing features, modified controls, issues with the image uploader, and more. WWE Games has not issued any public statements on the rough launch day, but 2K support account noted on Twitter that they are receiving more support requests than usual. The negative feedback is also being picked up by some mainstream media outlets and gaming news websites. One fan purchased the SmackDown 20th anniversary edition of the game and received a plaque for WWE Hall of Famer Edge instead of Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, and the plaque was not signed like it was supposed to be. 2K support responded to that fan and wrote, "We're receiving more tickets than normal. Rest assured, we're doing everything we can to get your case. Thanks for your patience." How are you finding the WWE 2K20 video game to be on launch day? Feel free to share your experience in the comment section. Stay tuned for more updates and issues and response from WWE Games or 2K. You can see the related tweets from the fans below. At this link here is your one from 2K support. Let's see what we can do for you. Could you please open a support ticket? You can go to that link. The tone replying to at WWE Games. At WWE Games, I just purchased a hashtag SmackDown Collector's Edition. It came with hashtag Edge plaque, but it was not signed. Replying to 2K support at that link again. Said already did. At 2K support, we're receiving more tickets than normal again. Rest assured. And I posted the response from Fancast podcast at this link. I've heard the term running the ropes, but this is ridiculous. Hashtag WWE 2K20. Hashtag fix WWE 2K20. And I think it's running the ropes. Well, it's running all right. You try to get in the ring, but you don't get in the ring. You go under the ring like you're climbing like previous years under the ropes to get weapons, and you end up in the ring. Go figure. Ha! At Fix WWE 2K20 is trending. If you're asking why, this planning in the rough face below explains it all at this link. It's a face plant right in front of the ref's face. Would be great in real life, huh? Figures comics on Twitter making his way to the ring. I just think. The Rock? I don't think so. That's not even a good picture of Maven. Hashtag fix WWE 2K20. And what's the status? Me? Let me create something day one. Hashtag WWE 2K20. Try again. Me again. I'll start my career with my own character by importing his face. Hashtag WWE 2K20. Try again. Me again. Alright, I'll just use the default skins in the game and start universe with my character. Hashtag WWE 2K20. Try again. Hashtag fix WWE 2K20. At Dino Winwood, it's pretty sad when the start menu is more exciting than the game itself because it features pretty much everything you can't play. Hashtag fix WWE 2K20. And at KFC Gaming, this link, be smart, be safe, don't try this at home. Hashtag fix WWE 2K20. I don't know what that one looks like. As seen, I just copied and pasted to this for posting the news. At _ Zatic, in-game versus creation suite, different boots, different wrist accessories, different modes, different model entirely. Heck, you got high heels for shoes choice at this link. I did not see that one. How you gonna wrestle in high heels? And jump off the top rope with high heels? Hashtag WWE 2K20. Hashtag fix WWE 2K20. Well, Colindum Gaming on Twitter. I have no words. This link. Hashtag WWE 2K20. Hashtag fix WWE 2K20. Well, got one more for you. At 089968 Raph, y'all have the audacity to plug this catastrophe of a game when crap like this is going on? I just think. And I think I viewed that one, and it goes up to a sky view of the top of the arena, and basically in the rafters you see the beams on the ceiling and you can't see nothing below. Report surfaced back in September that NXT star Casey Catanzaro was leaving WWE due to a back injury. More reports came out that she was still under contract at that time. Although rumors of her exit were swirling, Catanzaro is currently dating WWE superstar Ricochet, who was asked shortly after the news broke out what her WWE status was in early September. She's still with the company. She's not retired at all, and she's not injured. It's a tough sport, and we're all hurting. But there is something wrong with her. There is nothing wrong with her, Ricochet said. The two appeared at SmackDown on Fox Premier Blue Carpet event earlier this month. Although nothing has been confirmed by WWE or Catanzaro as of this week, her profile is no longer showing on the WWE.com's roster, signaling a possible exit from the company. Signing with WWE in January 2018, Catanzaro appeared in last year's Mae Young Classic, this year's Royal Rumble, and also made a handful of NXT TV appearances. Well, Roman Reigns may have suffered a minor injury of some sort of a stinger during the main event of a live event from Sydney, Australia. That match saw Reigns and Daniel Bryan defeat Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in a steel cage. I believe this was the live event from Monday night, simultaneous with Raw. At one point during the match, Reigns took a hard bump between the cage wall and the ropes. Reigns went on to help finish the match, but appeared to be hurting on his way up the ramp. Reigns reportedly signaled to a medic and a WWE official that he was hurt, and they spoke with him as he returned to the backstage area. Stay tuned for more updates on Reigns' status. As of Wednesday, I'm doing this video. By the time it gets uploaded, that is. Haven't seen anything from that. Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins will be hosting a holiday toy drive through their major wrestling figure podcast, beginning on Friday, November 1st. That's next Friday. The job will accumulate with a live pro wrestling show and a Create a Pro Wrestling Pro School in December. Full details will be released soon, but they tweeted the following from their podcast account today. Over the weekend, it was announced that Rey Mysterio and Cain Velasquez will be teaming up at a WWE Super Show live event in Mexico City on Saturday, November 30th. In an update, WWE Espanol Twitter account has revealed that Velasquez and Mysterio will be teaming up against Andrade and Drew McIntyre. It was also announced that Super Show will be headlined by The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, versus Universal Champion Seth Rollins in a steel cage match. AAA wrestler La Parka underwent surgery after sustaining a neck and vertical fracture to release pressure and repair a fractured vertebrae, according to at Lucha Blog. He's currently in recovery status, but no other update is known at the moment. I've seen a video of it, and yeah, it looked bad. The injury happened after he went for a suicide dive, going headfirst into the bottom of a guardrail. Very similar to WWE's guardrail, not the actual steel one, but the hard wood, what have you. Well, he hit pretty bad, and it's not the same guy as La Park from MLW. As the injured wrestler is a man who played La Park in AAA years ago. MLW sent the condolences out and also cleared up any confusion for fans. Last week, a plethora of players were drafted to 8 new XFL teams. As you watch my hour-long video, now we finally get a chance to see when these teams will be in action. Very short season. The XFL announced the full schedule for the entire 2020 season, all the way to the championship game. XFL will host 5 home games, and the schedules will rely heavily on divisional matchups. XFL East will feature the DC Defenders, New York Guardians, St. Louis Battlehawks, and Tampa Bay Vipers. XFL West will consist of Dallas Renegades, Houston Roughnecks, Los Angeles Wildcats, and Seattle Dragons. 4 games will be scheduled each week during the regular season. Following Super Bowl LIV on February 2nd, the first weekend of games, a 10-week schedule for the XFL begins on Saturday, February 8th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Central Time, that will be 1 p.m. First game will be DC Defenders hosting Seattle Dragons on ABC. Followed by Houston Roughnecks hosting the LA Wildcats at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Next day, New York Guardians will be hosting Tampa Bay Vipers at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox, while the Dallas Roughnecks host the Battlehawks at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Additionally, Seattle's home opener will be February 15th. LA's will be the 16th. Tampa Bay's will be on the 22nd. St. Louis will be on the 23rd. 2 premier matchups will happen back to back. New York and Los Angeles meet February 29th, and Houston and Dallas face off March 1st. Following the regular season, the top teams will battle to determine who will fight the league championship on Sunday, April 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Prior to that, the Eastern Championship final will be Saturday, April 18th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox, while the Western Championship final will be Sunday, April 19th at 3 p.m. on ESPN Eastern Time. Fox will be airing a 1-hour WWE special this coming Sunday, October 27th at 5 p.m. No word yet on what the special will be about, but I think it's more like the backstage thing. But it will apparently cover current and former superstars and some history of the business. Xfinity guide shows that the 1 hour special will air in the window of NFL coverage, so they will have to fight against that. Following an episode of PBC Fight Camp. The synopsis for WWE special reads like this: a profile of some of the greatest stars in wrestling and the sport itself. Various TV guides note that the special will have a TV 14 rating. Well, last night's Raw episode from Cleveland, Ohio, saw Aleister Black defeat enhancement talent Jason Reynolds. Reynolds is known to indie fans as ring veteran Jason Legend, and is one half of the Big B Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Memphis Kings, as they wrestled in Memphis. Looks like Naomi could be returning to the ring soon. She is now being advertised for the WWE live event in San Juan, Puerto Rico, at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico on Saturday, October 26th. Just days away, according to an alert sent by PRWrestling.com. Naomi is advertised to team with Natalya to face Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross at the event. Reported earlier this month that Naomi and the Usos were left off the 2019 draft because WWE currently had no plans for them. Usos were scheduled to return to the ring on SmackDown Fox premiere, but plans were changed for some unknown reason. The latest report noted that there were no creative plans and no return date set for them as of the second week in October. There was also no decision made on the brand which three superstars would be on. The Usos were taken off the road following Jimmy Uso's arrest for DUI back in July. Naomi revealed in late September that she had been away from WWE action since July due to health issues of her own and family issues. On a related note, Natalya is being advertised for double duty on the same live event in Puerto Rico. Besides the tag action with Naomi, she's advertised to team with Dana Brooke to face Tamina Snuka and Sarah Logan. PRWrestling.com noted that the promoters of the show, Move Events, said that Natalya's listings are not incorrect as she is scheduled for both matches. The top two matches advertised for San Juan are The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Universal Champion Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman versus U.S. Champion AJ Styles. So we'll see how that pans out. Leads up to that event. Xavier Woods has an Achilles tendon injury at Sunday's live event from Sydney, Australia. WWE confirmed the injury and noted that Woods was pulled from the rest of the tour. In an update, sounds like the things aren't looking good for Woods. And for WWE Online, reports that word going around WWE is that the injury is bad. WWE noted on their website that Woods suffered an Achilles injury without saying it was a tear, but word going around is that Woods did suffer an Achilles tear. No word yet on the timetable for Woods, but it usually takes a long time to recover from an Achilles injury after surgery. Woods would likely be reevaluated by WWE doctors after returning to the U.S. this week, and they usually try to get an Achilles tendon operation done ASAP. Riddick Moss recently returned from an Achilles tear after being out for 5 months. It was originally believed that he would be out for 8 months. A typical recovery time is around 6 months. Wood suffered the injury after being Irish whipped into the ropes. Fans in attendance noted that Woods came back off the ropes and just collapsed, clutching his ankle. GNC this week pledged to donate $200,000 in the FitOps Foundation to the FitOps Foundation, and are encouraging its customers to follow suit. As an added incentive, GNC loyalty members will be entered into a sweepstakes to win a VIP experience with John Cena at Performance House in New York City. Now to November 20th, customers can donate at their nearest GNC store online. Those who donate and are already members of the My GNC Rewards loyalty programs are automatically entered into the Cena sweepstakes. Last month, Cena announced a donation up to $1 million to the nonprofit organization himself, which will enable thousands of applicants to attend training camp programs who would otherwise be awaiting a spot. It's great to see a brand like GNC helping people like healthier lives. And I'm thankful that they're getting behind our veterans at FedOps, as well as giving their customers a chance to get involved, said Cena. The pledge will have a huge impact, and the sweepstakes will get us to our goal of raising $1 million that I will match. I'm looking forward to thanking and meeting the winner in New York City. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch was not at Raw from Cleveland, Ohio, but she responded to she represented WWE at the 10th annual ESPNW Women Plus Sports Summit in Los Angeles. The event runs until Tuesday from the resort at Pelican Hill in Newport Beach. And here's a link that you can see where she was at with a photo with the man at the summit with Catherine Tanja, David's daughter, Liz Cambridge, Shelly Ann Fraser Price, and Sage Steele. Unknown what sports they are, but you can go to that link to see who they are. Well, here's your results and spoilers for main event. W main event. Natalia defeated Sarah Logan. Mojo Rawley defeated No Way Jose. Raw opened up with a video looking at how Seth Rollins set fire to the Fiend, Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse last week. We got to a normal Raw opening video. Well, it's brand new. Live from the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio, pyro goes off and the fans pop. Big Joseph welcomes us to the show. He's joined in by Dio Madden and Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. We go right to the ring. Out comes your promo from Ric Flair to a pop. And now to talk about WWF Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan. And hype Team Flair versus Hogan at Crown Jewel. Nature Boy takes the mic and tries to get some sports-related heel heat from the local crowd, but he does a woo and gets a pop. Flair talks about the big 10-man match at Crown Jewel and now says, we're taking the show to Saudi. Flair goes on and introduces the final member of his team. Music hits and out comes Drew McIntyre, the chosen one, making his ring return for a pop. Drew hits the ring and says he has plenty to say and he will when the time is right. But first, Flair asks for a favor and it's been granted. Drew calls Flair sir and tells him to take a seat and watch along with everyone else. As this will get uncomfortable, Drew says he's going to show us a preview of what he plans on doing to Team Hogan at Crown Jewel. And we get the first match. Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet. Bing, bang, bong. Ricochet. Drew McIntyre stands tall in the ring. As his music hits and out comes Ricochet. Ricochet makes his entrance and poses as we go to commercial. Back to right with bell rings. Drew ends up manhandling Ricochet in the corner as Rick looks on from a seat. Drew sends Ricochet into a barrier and follows out. Drew then brings him back in the ring as Ricochet is down as the referee counts. Drew unloads Ricochet in the corner. Drew then knocks Ricochet back down and talks trash. Ricochet gets up and fights back with strikes, but a big forearm levels him. Drew catches Ricochet with a big shot and keeps him down. More offense from Drew. Drew keeps Ricochet grounded in the middle of the ring. Drew goes on and plants Ricochet in the middle of the ring for a 2 count. Drew keeps control and takes Ricochet back to the corner. Drew continues to dominate until Ricochet looks to mount an offense. Drew catches him in mid-move, but Ricochet slides out. Ricochet fights back, but Drew rocks him with a big elbow, sending him out to the floor. Drew follows, but Ricochet ends up connecting with a drop kick. Ricochet runs Back in the ring and remains in control as a gun commercial with Drew down on the outside. No split screen. Back from the break, we see how McIntyre used power moves to turn it around during the break. Ricochet tries to rally and counter out of the corner. Now with chops as Flair watches, as that's when they do the split screen. Drew turns Ricochet inside out and falls on his neck for a close 2 count. More back and forth for a few minutes. Ricochet turns it around and hits a big insecurity. Ricochet plays in the crowd for a pop. Ricochet then springboards in and rocks Drew with a flying clothesline. Ricochet keeps the momentum up and hits him standing shooting star express, but Drew actually kicks out at 1. No selling it. Ricochet with more high impact offense and another 2 count. Ricochet goes up top, but it's interrupted. The tangle and Drew knocks Ricochet out of midair. Drew launches Ricochet into the corner with a huge buckle bomb. Drew immediately follows it up with a big power bomb, but somehow Ricochet kicks out of 2. Drew can't believe it. Drew looks over at Flair, turns his attention to Ricochet. Ricochet counters the future shock DDT. Ricochet then and McIntyre tangle, but Ricochet drops him with a big insecurity. Ricochet tries to scoop Drew on the shoulders, but he can't get him up. Ricochet with a super kick to the face. Ricochet tries to scoop McIntyre again, and this time he does it, dropping him with a DVD. Ricochet goes to the top and nails a shooting star press, but Drew kicks out right before the 3 count. Ricochet can't believe it, and Flair is thrilled. Ricochet goes back to the top, but it's forced to roll through. Ricochet goes for the recoil, but Drew blocks it and launches Ricochet out of the ring. He lays bad on the floor. We hear the woo from Flair at ringside. Drew launches Ricochet back into a ring post. His fans boo as he waits for him to get up in the corner. Ricochet gets to his feet, dazed in the corner, and Drew immediately hits him with a Claymore kick for the pin and the win. After the match, Drew stands tall as the music hits and we go to replays. Flair stands tall at ringside, the music stops, and Drew attacks Ricochet and destroys him in the ring. Drew with a future shock DDT as Flair watches. Drew drags Ricochet out of the ring with his legs, catapults Ricochet face first into the steel ring steps. Ricochet smacks hard as fans boo Drew. Ricochet returns to the ring, and Flair joins him. Flair raises Drew's arm into the air as we get another replay as the referee check on Ricochet. In that segment, still to come, Rusev will be on King's Court to discuss Lana and Bobby Lashley. Also, the OC versus Street Profits and a mystery partner. And we will hear from Seth Rollins on why he set fire to the Firefly Funhouse by commercial. Back from the break. And sitting at ringside is XFL quarterback Cardell Jones of the DC Defenders. There's also some other XFL players as well. And now to show us a replay of what happened with the OC and the Street Profits from last week. Charlie Caruso is backstage with the OC now. She asked about the strategy for tonight. And it's indicated that now this will be a tag team match instead of a 6-man match with a mystery partner for the Street Profits. The Dr. Profits as rookies who need to earn their keep, who wouldn't be given the platform they've been given, especially as an unofficial Raw host when we already have the OC. AJ says the Profits always talk about wanting the smoke, but it's illegal in Cleveland. The OC goes on and says Cleveland sucks, and says Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have been doing this for a long time, and will give Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins the beating of their lives. And also show us a post-draft Raw roster, and we get a look at some of the new Red Brand superstars who made an instant impact after being drafted. And if you watch my video, you'll see that at the beginning of my video. Aleister Black with some more backstage. Black likes to think there's a method and a reason to his madness. He likes to think that one day all of this will give him an answer to why. He goes on and says this other side of him provides a rage that is like hellfire. Black says the rage is beyond redemption, but at the same time, it's clawing at him like a madman dancing in the moonlight. But he's ready to pick a fight. And we get that match up next. Aleister Black versus Jason Reynolds. I already gave you the results for that earlier. Back from the ring, Aleister Black with his unique entrance. Mike Rome does the ring introductions, and we're seeing an enhancement talent waiting in the ring already. Jason Reynolds. The bell rings and they lock up. Reynolds takes it to the corner, but Black counters. Black blocks a strike and unloads with a few kicks. Black takes Reynolds down and sits cross-legged in the middle of the ring. Reynolds charges but misses, and Black goes to work again. Black goes on and rocks Reynolds back in the corner. Reynolds turns around in the corner and beats Black down with strikes. Black comes right back with a big kick and a big knee to follow up, and then levels Reynolds with a black mass. Kick for the win. After the match, Black takes a seat and stares as his music hits. We go to replays. We see Rusev walking backstage. We cut to commercial. Back for the right, we see a new vignette from the Office of Pain, a common wrestler. There's no tag team on Raw hard enough to face him. They believe Raw signed them to keep them from going to SmackDown. They weren't an acquisition for Raw. They were removed from SmackDown. They go on and talk about getting violent on Raw soon, and how the next chapter in the history of tag team wrestling will be on Raw, and it will be written by the AOP. After all, they have been on Raw, not SmackDown, quite a while. And we go to the ring for King's Court with Jerry the King Lawler. Lawler talks about how we've seen a lot of Lana and Bobby Lashley lately, as of late, and everyone has been talking about them. But one person who isn't thrilled is Lana's husband, Rusev. Lawler introduces Rusev, and out he comes as the music hits. Lawler says this is hard to talk about because he believes what happens in a marriage should stay there. But this involves public figures. Lawler says Lana and Lashley have really put everything out there in public. Lawler goes on and says, and gets what treatment from some fans. Rusev tells them to stop because Lawler is a Hall of Famer. Lawler asks what Rusev thinks of this. Rusev says this is all Lashley's fault. He's poisoned Lana's brand, and for that, he will be crushed. As for Lana is concerned, Rusev says he may be a fool, but he still wears his wedding band because every day he hopes they can move past this and live happily ever after. Lana and Lashley appear on the big screen. Lana and Lashley are out at dinner, supposedly at a local restaurant. Lashley tells Rusev he wishes they could discuss this in person, but his woman has needs. Lashley says he won't make the same mistake Rusev did because Lana has needs and he will take care of them. Lana says dinner was delicious. They play around and flirt some. Lana says they are at her favorite restaurant, but Rusev wouldn't know because he never took her. Despite her asking, Lana goes on bragging about Lashley. Lashley tells Rusev out with the old and in with the new. They love on each other some more, but before the Tron feed cuts out, fans boo Lashley and Lana. Lawler asks Rusev what he thinks of what we just saw. Rusev says he wants to deliver his message in person, and he knows right where they are. Rusev strikes the mic and runs out of the ring. And we see the Street Profits in a mystery. The still to come segment. Street Profits and a mystery partner versus the OC. But if they announce that segment, the match has been changed, then the report was wrong. Versus the OC, we see Seth Rollins talking, burning down the Funhouse in a backstage segment. We see Zelina Vega backstage talking up Andrade back commercial. Sin Cara versus Andrade. Back for the break. We're returning Sin Cara. But we get Zelina Vega coming out. Vega says Andrade's music is a siren to let you know your career is in jeopardy. She brings up Sin Cara and says that means without a face, which is fitting because Cara will be living tonight without a face and without a win. Vega goes on and says, as good as Cara is, he will never be Andrade. Sin Cara is out next with making his return to action. And now to show us how Sin Cara has helped a lot in his community as of late. El Paso, the bell rings and they go at it to start. Andrade strikes the chops and runs the ropes, but Sin Cara drop kicks him to the floor. Cara runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive to drop Andrade on the floor. Sin Cara brings him back in and then goes to the top for a crossbody. Andrade kicks out at one. We see Humberto Carrillo watching backstage. Sin Cara and Andrade trade shots below. Trade shots. Vega grabs Sin Cara's leg while the referee isn't looking, allowing Andrade to charge and attack him in the corner with a knee. Andrade with more offense in an opposite corner for a close 2 count. As Vega cheers him on, more back and forth. Sin Cara counters and sends Andrade to the floor. Sin Cara goes to the top and leaves out, taking Andrade back down on the outside. Vega looks on shocked as we go to commercial with Sin Cara gets thrown. Back from the ring, Andrade keeps control in the corner. Sin Cara comes back with a springboard takedown. Sin Cara with another springboard moonsault for a close 2 count. Sin Cara more offense and another pin attempt. Sin Cara goes to the top but misses. Andrade sends Sin Cara face first into the turnbuckles. Vega rallies for Andrade. Goes for charging knees in the corner, but Sin Cara moves. Sin Cara tries to capitalize, but Andrade drives him into the mat for a 2 count. Andrade goes for the 3 suplexes and nails him, mocking Hall of Famer Eddie Guerrero for boos. Sin Cara kicks out at 2. Andrade goes back to the top, but Sin Cara kicks him off. Cara with chops. Sin Cara climbs up top for a superplex, but Andrade knocks him to the apron. Sin Cara keeps fighting. Andrade grabs him, but Sin Cara keeps fighting. Sin Cara ends up hitting a big powerbomb for the corner for a close 2 count. More back and forth between the two. Andrade with the running knees in the corner. But Sin Cara kicks out once again. Vega screams out, frustrated. They trade shots again. Andrade charges with knees again. More back and forth between the two. Sin Cara recovers at ringside, and Andrade argues with the referee because he's not even on the 3 count. As Vega takes advantage by coming off the apron and taking Sin Cara down on the floor with a hurricanrana. Andrade brings it back into the ring and nails a hammerlock DDT and Sin Cara for the pin and the win. After the match, Vega joins Andrade in the ring as the music hits. We go to commercial and come back to the referee checking on Sin Cara. We see Humberto Carrillo watching backstage again. Charlie joins him and watches him and welcomes him to Raw. She asks his reaction to what we just saw in Andrade versus Sin Cara. He has respect for Sin Cara, but when you face Andrade, you have to face he and Zelina at the same time. They are awesome. Carrillo goes on and says Andrade could be a WWE Universal Champion, but not if he beats Andrade to it first. Carrillo goes on and says he knows he has a lot to prove, and also says something about being able to win the Universal title, but not burning things down like current champion Seth Rollins. So to come segment, Seth Rollins is here. Also, the big 6-man match, back to commercial. Street Profits backstage, hyping tonight's 6-man match. They tease their mystery partner and won't reveal him. He's not a fan of AJ Styles either. That's all they give a clue for. 24/7 champion R-Truth is creeping around backstage. He's confronted by Sunil Singh. A distraction leads to Samir Singh rolling him up to win the title. Singh brothers run away together. Announcers go over WM Crown Jewel card. Viking Raiders versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. We go to ring. All comes Raw Tag Team Champions of Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. We see how they won the titles from Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode last week. Tom sends us a video package of the breast cancer awareness campaign with Susan G. Kelman and in a break. Back with the ring, Charlie's backstage with Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. They're looking forward to tonight's opportunity and then winning the World Cup Turmoil match at Crown Jewel. Ryder Hawkins hits in the ring. Now as Viking Raiders wait. The bell rings and they go at it. Eric and Ivar with double team moves early on. In and out of the ring. Things settle down after Ryder and Hawkins get some offense going. Hawkins comes in and works Eric over for a 2 count. Ryder and Hawkins for double team. Part 2 conclusion of my Raw video. Ebar with a big right hand to Hawkins and a clothesline to Ryder. Eric tags back in for a double team, but Ryder saves Hawkins from getting tagged. Eric with a huge knee to Ryder's face. Ebar tags back in and to hit the huge Viking experience on Hawkins for the pin and a win. After the match, Eric and Ebar stand tall as the music hits. We go to replays. Viking raise their titles in the air and the celebration continues. We go back to Lana and Bobby Lashley at a dinner still at the restaurant. Restaurant manager asks him to leave and says he will pay the tab. But he heard Lana's husband is on the way and he doesn't want any trouble. Lashley says Rusev doesn't have the ball to do anything, which Lana already knew. They laugh and the manager leaves. Leaves the camera segment. We see Rey Mysterio walking backstage with his arm in a sling. Back commercial. Back for the break. Rusev shows up to the restaurant. He confronts Bobby Lashley and attacks as Lana screams, as do others in the restaurant. Guys dressed like police try to separate them. Officers take Rusev away, and they got him cuffed. As Lana yells at him, ordering the officers to take her husband to jail, telling them to have fun in jail. Lashley stands tall with Lana amid the chaos in the restaurant, with smiles on her face. Back to the ring, and out comes Rey Mysterio with his arm in a sling. Rey gives a shout out to Cleveland and says he's training Cain Velasquez to get him ready to take the WWE title from Brock Lesnar Crown Jewel. First, Rey wants to say thank everyone for the support for him and his son Dominic, for the outpouring of love and support his family has experienced even before Lesnar attacked him and his son. We get a "You deserve it" chant for the crowd. Going on, Rey says this love goes back to when he was thinking of retiring. Rey says he has so much to be thankful for, and he's honored for the love fans have shown, and he thanks his family. This is why he's here tonight, to say it's straight from his family. The fans are his family, which is why we are all going to celebrate together at Crown Jewel when Cain wins the WWE title from that bastard Lesnar, as he said. Rey's more of the same promo is thankfully interrupted by Paul Heyman. Heyman appears on the big screen and wonders if Rey would be saying these same words if his client was live in Cleveland. Of course he wouldn't. Heyman says Rey knows Lesnar can't be on Raw tonight because he was drafted to SmackDown. Heyman says he can't be drafted anywhere, which is why he's here tonight to deliver this message to Rey on behalf of Lesnar. Heyman goes on about how Lesnar would dominate at Crown Jewel and take care of them both. But Rey cuts him off and has strong words for him. Rey goes on until the music interrupts. Out comes Shelton Benjamin. Shelton knocks Rey and Cain and isn't sure why Cain gets a WWE title shot. Rey says this is about family, but Shelton says Lesnar is his family. Shelton talks about how history with Lesnar and says besides Heyman, no one in WWE knows Lesnar better than him. Rey says Shelton has this all mixed up. Shelton disagrees and says he wants to see what happens if he shoves Rey around, which he does push Rey. Not very hard, that is. Shelton says maybe he will keep shoving Rey and get a title shot. Shelton keeps shoving Rey and talking trash, backing him into a corner, lightly slapping him. Rey can't fight back, but seems surprised by his former friend Shelton. Shelton asks where Rey's buddy is now and what Rey is doing. Music suddenly interrupts. Out comes Cain Velasquez to a pop. Cain enters the ring and stares Shelton down. Shelton tries for a takedown, but it's blocked. Cain shakes his head at Shelton. Cain slams Shelton and goes to work on him on the mat. Also mounting him. Shelton does have mat wrestling skills, and so does Cain because he's a MMA fighter. Cain applies the sleeper and Shelton taps after resisting, ending it on the floor is Kane talking to a WWE staffer. And Rollins says he heard what Humberto said earlier, and he did burn the funhouse down, but he did what he did as he had to. Rollins says when you're champion, you do what is right, not make popular decisions. Rollins says he would burn the funhouse down again if he had to. Rollins said he heard Carrillo wanted to be champion one day, so he welcomes him to Raw. Rollins suggests Carrillo have his first match on Raw against the champion tonight, and the match is on. He doesn't say it's for the championship, but he does say you can have a match against me. Rollins walks off as Humberto smiles as we go to a commercial. Back from the break, we see NFL's Cleveland Browns at ringside. As they're also there with XFL competitors. All the announcers show us highlights from last week's Riyadh season opening parade in Saudi Arabia, which featured WWE props, floats, and much more to Crown Jewel. You can also just see the video link from earlier. Seth Rollins versus Humberto Carrillo, not your main event. We come to the ring. First comes the Universal Champion Seth Rollins for a non-title match. So it is not non-title. Humberto Carrillo is out next. Obviously, if Humberto gets a win, he gets a title shot. Bell rings and they go at it. Carrillo with offense and early pin attempt. More back and forth. They tangle on the mat. Is Rollins and Carrillo grounded. They get back to their feet, and Carrillo works on the arm. Rollins turns around and goes for a single leg crab. Carrillo gets the bottom rope to break the hold. Fan chant, we want Wyatt now. More back and forth and counters on. Carrillo with offense and early pin attempt. More back and forth. Tangle on the mat. Rollins keeps Carrillo grounded. They go back to the feet, and Carrillo works on the arm. Rollins turns around and goes for a single leg crab. They get to the bottom rope to break the hold. Fan chant, we want Wyatt again. More back and forth with counters again. Rollins sends Carrillo out to the floor and nails the suicide dive, sending Carrillo into the barrier. Rollins with more offense on the floor as the referee counts. Rollins with a big suplex on the floor as Carrillo yells out in pain. Carrillo returns to the ring as the referee counts and goes back to commercial. Back from the right, Rollins has Carrillo face down in the middle of the ring. Rollins takes his time and keeps Carrillo grounded. Carrillo looks to mount offense, but Rollins drops him. Rollins takes some more trash, talks more trash, while easily controlling the match. Carrillo lands on his feet from a counter and nails a jawbreaker. Carrillo with a kick to the face. Carrillo keeps control and goes to the top, but Rollins sidesteps to a counter. Rollins with a fucking arrow for a 2 count. Fans chant for Bray Wyatt again. Rollins springboards in with a knee to the face. Rollins goes on, hits a bunker bomb for a big superplex to the face. Rollins kicks out of 2. Rollins can't believe it. Rollins plays the crowd for some boos. Rollins cranks up the band, and some fans chant "Burn it down." Carrillo sidesteps assault, and rolls Carrillo up for a 2 count. Carrillo with more kicks. Carrillo drops Rollins for a pop. Carrillo mounts more offense and goes up top for a big moonsault. And another close 2 count. Carrillo goes back up top, but Rollins gets his boot up, and Carrillo hits it face first. Rollins comes right back with a super kick and into the stomp in the middle ring for the pin and the non-title win. After the match, Rollins stands tall. As his music plays, we got a commercial. Rollins exits the ring with the title, but turns around and walks back to the ring. His music stops as he stares down Carrillo. Carrillo quickly gets back to his feet. Rollins offers his hands, and they shake. We see the OC backstage walking for the main event. Back to commercial. Tag team main event. Back from the right, R-Truth has a referee backstage sticking up on Singing Brothers to win back the 24/7 title, but he pins the wrong brother. Singing Brothers run away with the title as Truth finally realizes that there are 2 of them. Street Profits versus the OC for your main event. We go to the ring for your main event. Now first comes Street Profits. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Out next for the OC, Luke Gallows, Carter Anderson, and in their corner, U.S. champion AJ Styles. We see how the OC beat Ford and Dawkins down last week. AJ taunts Profits for not being able to find a partner, asking if he's invisible or imaginary, or if that's last week's beatdown just scared away any potential partners. Or maybe the Profits are lying about finding a teammate. AJ talks more trash as we go to commercial. So they're shaking their heads, yeah, like they're agreeing with them. Back for the right, match another way with no partner for Ford and Dawkins in sight. Vic says the show isn't over yet. Give them time. Ford starts off with Anderson and they go at it. Anderson takes control, but Ford turns it around and drop kicks him to the floor. Anderson recovers, but comes back in for another drop kick. Ford mounts him and unloads. Anderson goes back to the floor for a breather with AJ and Gallows. Anderson goes back in and Ford is right on him. Dawkins tags in and takes out Anderson again. Gallows tags in and has Anderson and Anderson nails a flying shoulder tackle. Dawkins unloads on Gallows in the corner. Now as the referee backs him off. Dawkins runs in with a stiff elbow. Gallows drops him with a big kick. Gallows keeps Dawkins grounded. Dawkins fights up, but can't get out. Anderson tags in for a double team, but Dawkins drops them both from the corner. Ford tags in and unloads on Anderson. Then Gallows off the apron. AJ distracts from the floor, allowing Anderson to take control and toss Ford over the top rope to the floor. Gallows follows and levels Ford with a big boot on the outside. Anderson with a big jumping knee to Ford's jaw on the floor. We go back to commercial with the OC and control. Back for the break. Gallows has Ford grounded in the middle of the ring. Ford fights up and out, reaching for the tag, but Gallows stops him. Gallows runs into a boot. Ford knocks Anderson out for the apron. Gallows stops Ford from tagging in once again. OC is all smiles and to keep Ford in the corner. OC is on the outside because this is strictly a 2-on-2 tag team match now. Anderson keeps Ford grounded in the middle of the ring. With a headbutt, Gallows tags back in, boots Ford while Anderson holds him. Ford looks to mount momentum. They collide in the middle of the ring with close eyes as Gallows and Ford go down. More back and forth. Ford sends Anderson out of the ring to the floor as the crowd starts cheering Dawkins as he tags in and unloads on both opponents. Gallows saves Anderson from a double team after Ford tags in. Dawkins sends Gallows to the floor. Ford goes to the top. AJ runs up and pushes Ford off the top while Gallows has the referee distracted. AJ pushes Ford right into the spine buster from Anderson. Ford still kicks out of two, surprising everyone. Referee ends up ejecting AJ from ringside as he saw the interference. AJ hits the apron to argue with the referee. Music suddenly hits while AJ is arguing with the referee. Out comes Kevin Owens with a huge pop. AJ rushes down to the ramp as the fans go wild. Owens catches AJ at ringside at the bottom of the ramp, levels him with a big stunner. Ford runs the ropes and leaves out, taking down AJ and Gallows at the bottom of the ramp. Ford tags in and hits a frog splash on Anderson for the pin to win their debut. After the match, Owens stands tall on the stage and salutes back at the ring as Street Profits celebrate in the ring. The music is playing. We go to replay. Street Profits celebrate with fans at ringside as they hit to the crowd, back to the crowd, just like their entrance, with others in the crowd. Brawl goes off the air with Ford and Dawkins celebrating with fans in the audience. In dark main event, after all, we see Universal Champion Seth Rollins retain his title over the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, in a steel cage match. Well, he's also a SmackDown, that's why he wasn't on Raw. It's interesting to note that WWE used the red lighting around the ring area as they did for the Wyatt versus Rollins Hell in a Cell main event earlier this month. To finish the match, saw Rollins try to escape through the cage, but Wyatt blocked it. Rollins with then delivered several super kicks and more stomps to keep Wyatt down. Rollins tried to climb the cage and escape over the top, but Wyatt quickly climbed up and brought him to the mat. Wyatt went for a Sister Abigail, but Rollins countered and delivered a kick, then another. Stomp to lay Wyatt out. Rollins then crawled out to the cage door to get the win. After the match, Wyatt quickly got back to his feet and stared at Rollins for a few seconds. As Rollins made his way to the ramp, the arena went black when the red lights came back on. The Fiend was at ringside with the mandible claw applied to the architect. The arena went dark again, and as Wyatt's laugh echoed out, Wyatt then appeared on the stage under a spotlight as the lights flashed back on him with the spotlight, and that ended the show. A second report: Wyatt did not appear on this week's Raw broadcast, but as a member of SmackDown, sent over to the Blue Brand from the 2019 draft. Rollins appeared on Raw and defeated Humberto Carrillo in non-title action. As noted, Wyatt is scheduled to host the return of the Firefly Funhouse on this week's SmackDown episode. Wyatt versus Rollins will take place at Falls Count Anywhere match at Crown Jewel on October 31st at Crown Jewel. And here's a few shots from Raw Dark Main Event from the Rocket Morris Field House in Cleveland, Ohio. As there's two links, part 2 and 3. Part 1, part 2, and 3. I'll post them all together, and that will end my results from your SmackDown, from your Raw and your WWE main event. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one of you. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.